Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another presentation of the iRacing Super Formula B Series here in the officials on a Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a fun one here from Belgium. Of course, I have to give a big thank you to all of the people who make this thing possible, all of the people who donate to this series to bring it here on VSPEED. Especially Graham Crackers Racing and Race Ready 3D. No matter if you're searching for speed or a place to race, you found it. Stop by the Graham Crackers Racing Discord server where everybody's welcome. Looking for a team? You're in luck. Actively recruiting for both Super Formula 23 and NASCAR teams. Join by using the link in the description or the QR code on your screen. And also don't forget to check out Race Ready 3D's link in the description down below. Big thank you to all of the donors who make this thing possible here to bring these shows on VSPEED and bring the shows to you, the people of YouTube. I'm your host and producer today, Morgan Cook. Logan is off, just got married, in fact. Big congratulations in the chat here for our very own Santa. You are watching VSPEED. Check us out, vspeedsim.com. Like and subscribe to the video as well. Hit the notification icon so you miss a moment of the racing action. I mentioned we're in Belgium, and it's the famous one, Spa. Racetrack that brings joy to the hearts of sim racers everywhere. We've all raced it, we all love it. Plenty of passing opportunities and plenty of speed. We put on a fantastic show last time we were here last season, and I expect more of the same here today. Now let's have a look at the points. These are the point standings for the entirety of this official series here on iRacing, spanning all the way back about 6 weeks when this thing started off on a Monday night here in Central Time. Marcos Alderson leading the way, Timothy Fries Larson not too far behind him. There you see the rest of the point standings for all of the races throughout the week. But if you're curious to what's been happening here on VSPEED, here are those points. Jansu Foster leads the way, tied with JT Smeaton. 54 points apiece here on the 5 races that we've done on VSPEED in this split. So here's everyone when the lights are brightest, if you will, and the strength of fields are the highest. Here's how everybody performs in those situations. And with that, we are just about to hit the grid here and see where your favorite driver is going to start. Starting on the pole, how about Jansu Foster in the 3? Marcos Alderson, last season's champion, will start right alongside. Third starting position tonight, Lewis Gahan in the number 4 machine. Timothy Fries Larson starts in 4th. 5th tonight, JT Smeeden. Lucas Hand starts in 6th. 7th tonight will be Tavares in the 9. Sergio Camara starts in 8th. 9th will be Nadia Mellon, the 11 mainstay in this series, and Dennis Branch will start in the 10th position. The back half of the field here, Dan Jang starts 11th. 13th will be Simon Scholes, making his return to the series. 13th, Andrew Petty. A lot of love in chat for Andrew Petty. Brett Reeves will start in 14th. 15th tonight, Ludwig Granson in the 15th. Ormsma will start 16th. 17th will be Philippe Sarkis. Miguel Fachado starts in 18th. 19th, Benjamin David in the 20, and Dennis Cornu rounds out your 20-car field here this evening. We are on the grid. Quick race analysis while we have a moment. 19 laps. Everything else stays the same. Pit road, if you need it. Limiters enabled. Wet tires are optional. No chance of rain today. Local yellows only. Open setups as we see every single week here in this series. Mere moments until we fire these things up and barrel off into turn number 1. And then down the hill into one of those exciting corners in all of racing. Last car has hit the grid. Revs are up. The lights are on. And we are away here in Spa. Oh, big issues already in the back of the field. The drivers have spun around, gone off the racetrack. Top 7 or so have pulled away down into Eau Rouge. And here is the first of those major passing opportunities. Looks like Talladega at this point, almost 3 wide. Gonna be 3 wide, how about 4 wide? A spin! Many cars off the racetrack. We'll come back and look at all of this once we complete this first lap. My goodness, what a start to this one. That was Kahan involved in that one. Tavares, Mel, and Yang have already taken damage in this race. They're all on the pit lane. We'll come back and see what happened to all of them from the very start of the race here in just a few moments. Top 3 have run away just a little bit over JT Smeeden. Down curve, Paul Frere. Up to 16 and 17, my nemesis on this racetrack. To that first chicane, or sorry, second chicane, the final corners. The last of the passing opportunities on a laply basis. And here we are, back to the start. While the leaders battle, we have some more action back here. Oh, we got a driver all the way around here. That's Simon Scholes. That car has seen some better days. Let's go back and see what happened to him. So we'll watch from Scholes. And we'll continue to go back until the start of the race, and we'll join back to where we are currently. So up here to the final chicane. Oh, driver slides in front of him. Not sure who, then the 15. That is Ludwig Granson, goes for a slide. Takes out his teammate, unfortunately. Back a little further here. So here's the incident with Kahan. Back a little further. So this is up the hill. We saw this insane 2 to 3 wide action all the way up the hill. You're not missing anything up front. By the way, Lucas Hand is currently the leader. We'll get right back to the racing action here in just a minute. Inside entry, not quite able to get by. Alersson's part of it. Then one more time back here to the start of the race, where we saw drivers such as Tavares have their incidents. So from the fire off here, we'll rewatch the race start for Tavares, Amel, and Zhang. Then back to the live shot. Apologies everybody for missing the racing action. But I mean, when you see 4 and 5 wide, oh, you see a driver just missed the zone there. I think that was Zhang into the back of Tavares, spun them all around. That was the 8. That was in fact Zhang. Back to the live shot. Lucas Hand continues to lead. Jansu Foster, Timothy Fries Larson, and JT Smeaton, your top 4. Marcos Alerson just barely in tow as well as they head up a Rouge. Fairways back to Andrew Petty, who has already gained 7 positions. He is not the biggest mover of the day, as Jansu Foster got a round hand down the Kemmel Straight. Door to door, they spin again, just like last week. Around goes Foster. Saw the same thing happen last week in Imola. So they both get a round hand. You see Foster on the inside, Larson on the outside. Not quite enough space given. Contact made, and around goes the 3 for the second week in a row. Puts him all the way back to 9th. At least the fall wasn't as bad as it was last week, where we went all the way back to the mid-teens. Back to P9 at the moment. Definitely, this is turning out to be a bit of a race of attrition. 3 laps into the 19-lap race. We've got 3 drivers with the meatball flag. A bunch on pit road. Not having a great start to their day here in Belgium. An excellent battle here. For your top 5, all the way back to Petty. About 3 seconds behind him to the next car. Let's see if he can catch up here down the Kemmel Straight. Be a little too far back to get that draft at slipstream. Let's see here. Yeah, just a little too far away to be able to latch onto it. Battle behind them, though. 3 cars trying to figure out who's going to be the first one into the combs. That's Kamara, Sarkis, and Borsman. Defensive line from the 16. They'll make it through there cleanly. To pull on. Makes it through there cleanly. Back up to the battle for the lead. Timothy Fries Larson continues to lead the race. Lucas Hand right behind him. JT Smeaton not too far back. Alerson starting to lose touch, but Petty has caught up to the back of Alerson. I think there might be a little bit of damage on that 7, in fact. As remember, he was caught up in the Lewis Kahn incident on lap number 1. See if maybe down into Eau Rouge, maybe we'll see these cars bunch up the top 5 here. See everyone fan out. OTS being used right now. Everyone's on it. These top three trying to break away. Oh my goodness, chopped the nose of the one. Did Lucas Hand. He's going to take the lead away. Alerson has now caught up to this group. About 3/4 of a second back. Needs a good back half of this course to be able to keep in touch down that long straightaway. But this is a very fast section as well. Slipstream will play a factor here. His Hand continues to lead. It's a cat and mouse game. When you're trying to catch up to a group, you have to be better on the exits than them to get the momentum down the straightaways. And if you don't, they're going to leave you in the dust with no slipstream help. And that is not a winning combination right now if you're Andrew Petty. Alerson closing in, just not quite enough. See, he's still on the OTS. Just now got off of it. Into that chicane, 18-19, trying to put the power down. Can't do it too early or the car will spin. Already 6 laps complete here. It's going to be a quick one tonight. Inching closer, slowly but surely, is Alerson. Did not get a good run out of the source. Seems like he really struggles up the hill compared to the top 3. He's 7/10 or so out of turn 1, but about a second behind once they get into this set of corners. So he loses about 3/10 up the hill. Curious if that's maybe it's a downforce package limitation that is on the 7. Better in the corners, not as good on the straightaway. Could be. So we have quite the cat and mouse game for the lead. Larson pushes a little bit wide, clips that gravel patch. Excellent battle for 13th as well. Kahan rebounding after getting damage in this very corner. Only 5 laps ago, he's trying to battle Dennis Branch for 13th position. See, can he get around Branch? And not quite able, still probably has a little bit of damage from the incident. Back up front, though, Hand making a move into that final chicane. Showed the nose to the outside. Could not make it stick. And this is the closest Alerson and Petty have been. They have enough. Let's ride on board here with Petty down the hill. This is definitely the closest that they've been. And they have the lack of drag to catch up. They're inching their way closer. Hand and Larson side by side. Larson's going to take that spot away. Alerson now within half a second of that rear wing of Smeaton. And Petty, another 6/10 back, so they're right there. It's going to be a 5-car battle to determine who's going to win the race at Spa. Top 2 off the racetrack. Pushing a little bit wide into the gravel patch. As Branch and Kahan still duke it out. Other battles on the racetrack. Jansu Foster has gotten back up to 8th, chasing down Felipe Sarkis. The other 2 drivers within range are Camara and Sarkis. And the driver who we saw put on a fantastic drive to the field last week after a similar incident in Imola. Just a reminder to everybody, if you like what you see and you want to keep these shows here on VSPEED, the Super Formula Top Split B-Class races here on the officials of iRacing you want to keep them on VSPEED, make sure to use the donation link in the description down below so we can continue to fund these races. I know a lot of drivers in this race have personally donated to make sure these races continue to happen, and we appreciate every single person who has sent money the way of the donation link so that we can keep these things going. It really makes it possible and shows a level of support this community has for its drivers. Front three, duke it out again. They put a gap on Alerson this time. Almost 3 wide into Lacombs. Somehow they sort it out. And now Smeaton's up to second. Hand back to third. This is about the biggest lead that I think anyone's had all day. 4 car lengths. That's really just how dominant, actually, how lack of dominant everyone's been here this evening. I mean, the real winner tonight is a slipstream. I think we can all agree on that as we just about halfway in this one. So you see your top 5 on your screen. Larson, Smeaton, Hand, Alerson, and Petty. Let's head up into the chicane. Alerson really fell back this time. Definitely does not have the, he has a little too much downforce for the straightaways it looks like, but he is much faster in the corners. Balance maybe a little bit off there on the 7. A little further back, Foster's gotten up to 7th around Sarkis and Borsman. Camara in front of him. There's a look at Camara, making his debut from what I can recall anyway, on one of these VSPEED broadcasts, so congratulations, nice to have you. This is one of the highest strength of fields that we've had. If I'm not mistaken, 54.21 was the number I saw before I jumped in here, so that is high, to say the least. That puts all these drivers about. Oh, Petty and Alerson having a battle here. That puts all these drivers well within the top 1% of iRatings on the service. I mean, just some incredible drivers. We say it every single week. I mean, it just has to be said, though, the level of competition we see is really second to no other series on iRacing. Hahn and Branch continuing to duke it out. Missing a side pod there for Khan. That's why he's struggling so much down the straightaways. Branch also involved in an incident early on. He might also be missing a side panel. He is, in fact, missing a side pod, so both of these drivers, if you ask them if they were all right, they'd say no. Most of the parts are on the left of the car. Let's let that one marinate for a minute. Couple battles throughout the field here. Alerson, Petty still going at it. As I think they've given up the chase trying to get to that lead trio. Petty finally gets around Alerson. This might be what he needed. So we've seen Petty be faster on the straightaways. The gap is 3 seconds now. Somebody off the racetrack just a touch. The other battle right behind those guys. Foster and Camara. Foster trying to regain all that time he lost from the spin. Has a very real chance at getting a top 5 here. I think he finished, I don't remember if it was 4th last week, if I'm not mistaken. after some late race shenanigans. He's looking right at the 7th or the 6th position in front of him, and Alerson not all that far up the road. You can see him in the frame. It's all about hitting those apexes perfectly and getting the good exit, so you can use the slipstream to your advantage and make a pass into one of these very tight corners. Just like what JT Smeaton's trying to do here to Lucas Hand. Oh, Larson off track. Overshot it. Slowdown penalty coming. That's going to give the lead to Lucas Hand. Wow, rare mistake from the 1. He might have just been able to serve the penalty right there. He did a good job of slowing down, not making that any worse than it was. And now he's back battling for the lead. Well, where does Smeaton go? See 3 distinct battles throughout the field. Your top 3, 4th and 5th, and then 6th and 7th. And Sergio Camara with a meatball, big damage on the 6. Where'd it come from? Oserman with an issue as well. We'll go look at that also. All right there, contact, heavy damage on the 6. Boersma as well. I'm thinking it happened down here into Lacombe. Yes, he did. Contact, minimal damage, but lost a lot of time. There's Dennis Corno, driver we haven't really mentioned all day, hanging out into 12th position. Mainstay in the series. Started 20th, has already gained 9 positions. Solid run. Can't dislike that at all. Back up to the front of the field. Larson and Smeaton still in lockstep. Brett Greaves has just gotten around Camara, who is now hitting the pit lane. That'll give up any hopes at a top 10 for the 6. Battle for second. Nothing doing. Lucas Hand able to inch ahead of JT Smeaton. Sarkis and Foster. This is for 6th and 7th. Foster more than likely got some damage out of that contact with Camara down Kemmel Straight. And Philippe Sarkis is the biggest mover of the day. How about plus 11? 17th up to 6th. What a great drive for the 16. Graham Crackers Racing, of course, major donor to the series on the side of that machine. Love to see that. He's slowly pulling away here from Jansu Foster. A little further back to Louis Cahan. Still fighting with Dennis Branch, and both these drivers still missing that side pod. And don't look now, but Andrew Petty has started to close that gap significantly. Remember, it was up to 3 seconds, the gap between the top 3 and Petty. It is now cut in half. He's closing at a very quick rate here. We could see him pull Alerson into this battle for the win before this race is over. Just needs to continue to be efficient and hope that these top 3 continue to battle as fiercely as they have been the entire race to this point. Let's ride on board for a lap. Here with Hand. A little bit of time through that sector. I think he makes it all up here. You can tell this 10 is trimmed out to be fast in a straight line. As he goes for a move on the high side here. Oh, he overshot the corner, gonna lose second. This might be exactly what Petty needed as well. Hand might have just cost himself a shot at the win. How well does he get down the hill? 9/10 of a second back and counting. He is just barely inching back in. I think he's just close enough here. Smeaton goes for the move. No, he stays in line. Petty and Alerson. This will probably cost them an opportunity to finish in the podium here. See, Alerson so much better in the corners. Petty so much faster on the straightaways. You need both to be good here. Oh, he put him off. Around goes Petty off the racetrack. Tire is not where it's supposed to be. Day ender for the 18. There wasn't much here in terms of contact. So Petty dived down into that corner. Little bit of close racing there, but again, no real contact. So right there, Netco definitely was a piece of that. The tire popped off way later. That is going to be a day ender for Andrew Petty. Wow, he's having a great run too. He's really been snake bitten on these VSPEED broadcasted races. Now finds himself once again in the garage. Going to finish 13th here today. Your top two, now a top three. Hand has caught back up. Big gap back to Alerson. Sarkis is on an island. Jansu Foster is on an island. So is Brett Greaves on his own island in 7th. Benjamin David, I haven't mentioned him all day. He's in 8th, minding his business. Cornu is all on his own in 9th. Boersma on his own in 10th. Branch in 11th. Still in a battle with Kahan. They cannot get away from each other. Those are the 12 cars running in the race. See Kahan trying to straighten out that exit. Not quite able to do it. So we have 5 to go here in Spa. Closest battle on the racetrack continues to be for 12th. 11th, Apollo. Branch has it. Kahan wants it. Drag race down the Kemmel straight. Give the edge to Branch. He might have just a little bit less damage than Kahan. The one thing, too, about this racetrack, because of the slipstream, you need to be in traffic to set your fast lap as we get right to the rear wing into the chicane. So the fast lap for the top three, they're all in the 51-second bracket. It's a 9, a 7, and a 4 in order for second, third. So right now, fast lap of the day is Lucas Hand with a 51.42. Apologies, that's actually on. No, it is. It is, sorry, Hand. 51.42. Smeaton thinking about it. Where does he make the move? Does he make the move? Decides not to. Stays in line. They've put about 3 seconds on Alerson. See just now entering the frame. I would imagine one of these three drivers makes a bold move. I'm thinking with 2 to go. I don't know if you want to do it on the final lap in case you miss. Laying off the push to pass for now. Remember, these drivers have 100 seconds of push to pass. I think 200 seconds actually push to pass. Apologies for that. But they can use throughout the race. Most drivers save it right until the end. Try and set the fast lap. As well, it helps you defend, especially down these long straightaways. Looking back at Timothy Freeze Larson. 3 to go. Top two starting to separate just a little bit. The Hand is definitely within the slipstream range. He's going to be right there. Does he go for a move? He does. Hand goes to the end, goes to the very outside. Larson in the middle. He's going to go for the lead. He's trying to get all at once. He's not going to get there. Hand back to second. Smeaton falls back 1 spot into third. Larson continues to lead off track a little bit. Hand to the outside. Here in Ravage, 180 corner here to the right-hand side into No Name. Everybody makes it through cleanly. Huon, where the drivers are right now. Down the short chute into 12. Out of 13, now into 14, 15. Kerr-Paul Frere. One of the most important corners on the racetrack for lap time. You can have a long straightaway, fast section up 16, 17 to Blashmall. Then into the chicane in 18. The second best of the passing opportunities on this course. And Hand's going to go for it here on the outside. Remember, he tried it before, almost lost the slipstream of the lead too. He's going to try a crossover here. Can he get there? No. Can't get the power down. 2 to go. Down into turn number 1. The setup for the fastest part of the racetrack. Down the hill, Eau Rouge, Badillion, and the Kemmel Straight. If you can nail the exit to turn 1, you can set up a pass down in 5. In Lacombe. Looks like Hand pokes out early. Where does Smeaton go? He's going to have a run. He pokes to the inside. Oh, tries to the inside. The side's better of it. Once again, Larson able to clear all 2 of them. This is the only battle on the racetrack within a second. We're going to keep it locked right here on this lead group, as this is the battle for the win here in Spa. No pressure from behind from Alerson. It's just these 3. This is now the farthest anyone has been back from the leader all day. I believe Larson's on the OTS. Yes, he is. You can see that quick blinking light. See there, that means OTS being used. We look back at hand. Slow blink means it's recharging. Smeeden also on the OTS. Will this be enough to pull away from hand? Oh, Smeeden with a big move. Flips a little bit, trying to put the power down. Big jump off the corner. The gap is now 1.5 seconds. They're out of slipstream range. Did Timothy Fries Larson just use a masterclass in OTS management as we are on the white flag here in Spa? Does Hand have anything for him? Two and three still falling back from Larson. Hand has OTS available, not choosing to use it. Battle for second continues to be fierce. Smeeden with the defensive line, slides up in the center, trying to diamond the exit. Still on the OTS, he's gonna pull away. As the gap up to Larson is now 2.5 seconds, the one has checked out and set sail. And without the OTS, Alerson is catching up to Hand. Final half of the course. I don't think anyone has anything. Timothy Fries Larson. Alerson continues to push that thing as hard as he can. Through 16 and 17. And into the final chicane for the last time today. Timothy Fries Larson is going to be a winner here in Spa. And how about that final lap? Setting the fast lap of the day by 8/1000ths of a second over Alerson. A 150.880. Wow, what a drive. The race started off with carnage, ended with a little bit more carnage. You can see it right there on your screen with Timothy Fries Larson. You having a masterclass in OTS usage. Legs it out on the final lap to win after leading 14 of 19. Once everyone crosses the finish line, we will get to our results, still waiting on Branch and Kahan. There goes Branch. There is Lewis Kahan. Here are your results. Larson ends up winning by just over 2 seconds. JT Smeeden finishes in second, and Lucas Hand comes home in the third spot. We'll have a chat with some combination of those drivers, I am sure, here in just a moment. Marcos Alerson finishes in fourth. Philippe Sarkis with a great run up to the fifth spot. Jansu Foster in sixth. Brett Greaves in seventh. Benjamin David finishes in eighth. Cornu in ninth. And Bozerma, making his first start here, finishes in the 10th position. 11th will be Dennis Branch. In the 5, Lewis Kahan finishes 12th after that contact. Petty 13th, had a strong run. He'll be the first car to not finish here tonight. Camara finishes in 14th. Fachado 15th. Ranson in the 16th spot. Chul 17th. Nadia Mel comes home in 18th. Tavares 19th. And Zhang in 20th. Those bottom three, of course, involved in that turn 1 incident before they even got to turn 1 off of the grid. Let's have some interviews now. How about it? We'll start off with third place, Lucas Hand.
Oh no!
Lucas Hand.
Hi.
It's Morgan up in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy.
Hey man, how's it going?
I am doing well. I think you probably just saw something that you were surprised to
Yeah,
see,
I
but
was.
we'll get to that in just a minute. I mean, P3 here today. He led 4 laps, had a great battle, basically the entire race with Smeaton and Larson. You made a small mistake into the last chicane, cost you some time. You caught back up. What could you have done differently to maybe change the outcome of this race?
I'll tell you what. On the last lap coming through Eau Rouge, I double clicked my overtake button. So I went to press it and I turned it off again, so I couldn't have it for the rest of the lap, and I wasn't able to battle with JT. But no, honestly, it was just really fun. Like I don't think I could have done anything different. I think I drove probably one of my best races to keep up with Tim all the time and keep up with JT, two guys that are really really quick, really really fun to drive against, and to come back after like who knows how long, like 7 weeks of not doing this race and the broadcast because I've been busy, and to come back and finish P3 feels really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, the top three put on exactly the same show as we saw last time we were here at Spa, where the top three, top five are really able to duke it out amongst themselves until the final lap or so. What is it about this racetrack in particular that just breeds such fantastic racing and really all kinds of cars?
The draft is the most important thing in these cars, especially the fact that there's kind of a setup difference you can take. So Marcos was on a more medium downforce set, so we had a bit less wing on the car. But me, JT, Timothy, we were all on high downforce cars, which meant the draft was just you could just pull up to someone after like from 8 tenths back, and it was really really and that's what breeds the amazing racing around here, especially in the super formula, is that it's just fantastic draft that allows you to close right back up if you lose a bit of time in the middle sector.
And able to see that kind of all night tonight, where Alassane could not quite catch up to you guys. Petty had a shot at it, and of course he had his issues alongside with the 7 there. But I mean, great race, finishing in third here. You have the floor. Anything you want to say? Sponsors you want to shout out? People you want to thank for a P3 here on VSpeed?
I'd love to thank my parents for watching. It was very, very, it was very chaotic. I hope their hearts aren't beating as hard as they should be. Also everyone in chat, thanks for supporting me as well. And yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lucas. Appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. And we'll see you next time here on the Super Formula B Series iRacing broadcasts on Saturday afternoons.
all right, see ya.
You bet. That's third place finisher Lucas Hand. Let's move up one spot up the grid here to find JT Smeaton. JT, Morgan up the V-Speed booth. You got a copy.
Copy.
All right. Well, incredible race between you, Freeze Larson, and Lucas Hand. I mean, the three of you were close together the whole day and really just playing cat and mouse with each other, trying to figure out the right time to make the move. You come home in second. Was there anything you could have done on the final 2 laps to change the running order or the finishing order of this race?
Yeah, I mean, first off, the second's a pretty good result. I'm pretty happy with that, especially after where I qualified. But yeah, on the penultimate lap, I tried to get past Lucas early so I could have a go at Timothy, but unfortunately just lost a bit too much time fighting with each other, so he managed to get away. But I mean, fair play to Lucas. I mean, he did a good job defending, and of course, great win by Timothy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the race, it seemed like you and Larson saved your OTS up until the end, and you were able to run it the entire last 2 laps. Lucas obviously made a mistake with his OTS, double clicked it, and it cost him from using OTS for the final lap. Um, was there anything different you could have done with OTS management to try and have a better shot at Timothy, or was what you had the best you could do at that situation?
I think it was the best I could have done, to be honest. I only used 10 seconds of OT up till that point. But yeah, I mean, thing is, OT is not as big of an advantage as you think, because the slipstream down Kemmel Straight in Eau Rouge is so strong that even if you have OT, it's impossible to build a gap. It's really that middle sector is the opportunity for you to create a gap. But yeah, I mean, maybe I could have used a little more to stay in P2 or so going into the last few laps. But yeah, overall, I don't think there was much I could have done.
I mean, a fantastic result nonetheless. As you mentioned, P2 is nothing to be upset about. I imagine you will be probably the points leader after this in the broadcasted races. first or second. You should be definitely up there. Nonetheless, you came in as tied for the lead with Jansu Foster. I imagine you'll still be pretty close to that spot with Timothy Free Larson taking the win here today. But I mean, obviously you're running for points as you keep showing up to these top split races, and what a top split race it was. Is there one or the other that is more important to you, more prestigious to you, the iRacing entire season championship, if you will, or the VSPEED broadcasted races highest strength of field championship, if you will? Is one or the other more important, or the equally important in your eyes?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good question. I would say that the V speed settings mean a lot more. Of course, come out here, race against some of the fastest guys in this series. So, yeah, to be up at the top fighting with them is a lot of fun. So, hey, I'll do my best to see if I can hold on to that championship lead. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the season so far. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I mean, again, great finish. And while you have the opportunity, who do you want to thank or shout out for what was a great second place finish here in Spa?
Yeah, first off, I just want to thank all the drivers, Lucas and Timothy especially. It was a really good battle. And a big shout out to my family, mom, dad, sister for always supporting me. But yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, JT. That's your second place finisher tonight, JT Speed.
Take care.
Up to the top step of the podium, we catch up with a familiar face. Timothy Freeze Larson, it's Morgan here in V Speed Victory Lane. You got a copy.
Hi, Morgan. I can hear you.
All right. You don't sound as excited as I do. I don't know why that is. You just put on a fantastic show here for everybody, leading 14 laps, getting that fast lap here at Spa, and really exercising OTS in about the most perfect deployment you could with those last two laps. Pulled away to the biggest lead we saw all day at 2 seconds. How'd you do it? How'd you win this one?
Well, first of all, I mean, you can't really ignore the incident on lap 3, unfortunately, and yeah, I don't have much to say on that. We both race hard, and things happen. So, but yeah, after that, it was just trying to stay in the lead as well as possible, and I learned from previous races like these, so I used my push to pass a lot more than then, and I managed to hold the lead for a while. And as you said, I didn't turn it off after kind of turn 5 attempt, I guess, on lap 18, and so I pulled away and managed to keep the car in control. So I mean, I guess the reason I don't sound too excited is because of the incident, and also because I've been busy all day with the Oslo Motor Show. So yeah, it's been a fun day.
I was poking fun at you, of course. I mean, you've been incredible all year long. You feel however you need to feel, because clearly whatever you're feeling is working. Winning here today, and of course you had the incident with Kevin, and I can make broad assumptions that it was not intentional and it was just another racing incident, just like last week at Imola. Same two drivers, similar position. Unfortunately for you, this time only one went around and not two. But yeah, Kevin got the brunt of it again this week. Um, we're going to move past that, though, because we don't need to focus on the negative here. You continue to
Yeah.
show up and you continue to show out every time we have these top split races. You are the highest rated driver in the field, north of 9,000. What do you do on a weekly basis to prepare for these races? You mentioned you had a busy day today, but how do you prepare for these top split races week after week to always be up on the upper echelon of the series?
I mean, first of all, I kind of have to thank my team for this because a lot of them have different setup shop subscriptions, and so I'm not always the best at creating my own setups. So I'm pretty reliant on getting other ones and maybe making my own tweaks, which I did today. And yeah, I still got a lot to learn, and yeah, I guess just spending time practicing whenever I can, and I'm not busy with school and such. um, so yeah, just spending time learning setup techniques, watching people like Kevin drive because he's absolutely rapid, and yeah, I'm always learning.
Awesome. Well, Again, congratulations on the race win here in Spa. While you have the opportunity, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for what was another terrific race here on VSPEED?
Well, I have to thank all my friends, of course, and my dad and the rest of my family, and everyone watching, you guys hosting. Yeah, thank you all.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the time, Timothy. I'm sure we'll talk to you again next week. Congratulations on the win once again here in Spa.
Yeah, thank you, and hope to see you next week.
That's your winner, Timothy Fries Larson. We have Kevin Foster. We're going to have a chat with here. Let's see if we can get a quick word with your 6th place finisher here today. Kevin, Morgan up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hi, Morgan. How are you doing?
I am doing well. 6th place here today after starting on pole. Obviously not the finish you were looking for. Incident happened down there in turn 5. Yeah, you rebounded well. All in all, how do you sum up the race today?
Yeah, definitely disappointing. Spent a bit more time than usual practicing this week. Spa is one of my favorite tracks, so it was one that I was hoping to do well at. And yeah, the signs are pointing really well going into the broadcasted race. We have like the fastest qualifying lap of the week by 3 or 4 tenths, fastest race lap, fastest average lap time during the race. So the pace was definitely there. Had a little bit of a shaky start to qualifying, didn't quite put it together lap 1, and then lap 2 just barely managed to get the pole off of Marcos. And then yeah, what I was hoping to settle into what would be an exciting race there, and then it's same thing that happens like last week. It's always over aggressive at the beginning stint, and I think it was lap 2 or lap 3 where Timothy's trying to go around the outside of the Les Combes chicane there, and doesn't leave quite enough space to the white line, like half a car, so I have to throw up on the curb, and it's like, yeah, I guess Netcode had different ideas. In most cases, both of us would just kind of rebound and continue on straight, but unfortunately that time I came off worse and had a bit of a spin, and yeah, that was basically the end of the race there.
Yeah, so you mentioned it's the second time it's happened. Obviously, happened last week in Imola, similar situation, same 2 drivers. Very similar result, all things considered, although you were able to rebound about equally in both races. Um, Going forward, is there anything you can do differently to try and avoid this sort of incident? You mentioned kart racing at the start. That's kind of the best opportunity to get positions, is it not? Right off the start.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's differing mentalities, and yeah, there's going to be people trying to capitalize on the start, people's mistakes. But I feel like, especially Spa, I think it was Lucas that mentioned it. What makes it such a great racetrack is that no matter you could be 8 tenths laps slower just on pure pace, but because of the draft, you have a chance to fight. So the pace deficit is irrelevant. And so to be so aggressive, at least in my opinion, to be so aggressive in the opening laps and try and pull a choice move around the outside there is it is what it is. I don't think I would have done anything differently. If you give me the scenario 10 times out of 10, I'd do the exact same thing, which is I'm on the inside and got my nose to the apex first. So I left space and he didn't, so that was kind of the unfortunate outcome.
For sure. But all in all, P6. It's not the end of the world. You definitely rebounded well, and a lot of drivers wouldn't be able to make up the ground that you do when you get put in these kind of suboptimal situations. But I mean, we've talked at length about the incident and kind of how your race was. But who do you want to thank and shout out for having the speed? Every time we see you on the racetrack and being able to put up quality racing, no matter who you're racing around. Um, who does that thanks go to?
First and foremost, always got to thank my family and my friends. I know my dad is watching downstairs and wanted to do something special, so this time my girlfriend actually came over to our house and was watching the race live. So she's actually right beside me. So that was kind of a fun little twist to things for this week, being a special track. And I got to thank Tomas Simon for always creating these rapid setups. Yeah, without him, I think I'd be a little bit more lost when it comes to pace. So I've also obviously got to thank SRN and Alan and Daniel. Those guys are always been supportive behind the scenes when it comes to my sim racing endeavors. And yeah, thank you, Morgan, for commentating and hosting the broadcast every week.
You bet. Well, thank you for your time, Kevin. Finishing here P6, and we will see
Yep,
you next time here on VSPEED.
yep, we will. Take care.
You bet. See ya.
Bye now.
Well, that will do it for our interviews here. It was a fun one here in Spa. Super Formula B Series here on the iRacing officials Saturday afternoon. Always a good time. Brought to you in part by all of the donors who make this possible, but especially Graham Crackers Racing. No matter if you're searching for speed or a place to race, you've found it. Stop by Graham Crackers Racing Discord server where everybody's welcome. Looking for a team? You're in luck. We're actively recruiting for both Super Formula 23 and NASCAR teams. Join by using the link in the description or the QR code on your screen, as well as Race Ready 3D. Make sure to check out their link in the description down below. And I didn't mention Sim Racing Nation the first time. Have to mention them right here. This partnership would not be possible without simracingnation.com. So thank you very much to everyone there who makes this possible for us here at VSPEED. And with that being said, for everyone watching, all the people in the chat who had their things to say, appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a moment of the great racing action. Check out that description link as well. There's a description for donation links, links to our sponsors, links to our partners, donors. Everything is in there. We want to keep these races going, and we need those donations to do it. So thank you very much in advance for doing that. For everyone at VSPEED who makes this thing possible, Bradley, Adam, Eddie, Logan, all the other commentators and producers, I'm Morgan Cook. A great evening. See you next time right here on VSPEED. Maybe tonight for Saturday Night Racing. Who knows? See you then.